But so Rashpal's joined me. That's good. Rashpal, give me 2 minutes. Guys, hope everyone's good. Hope everyone's well on this. Still got a little mini heat wave going on it, which is amazing. So can't complain. So let's get into it. So today I'm joined by a gentleman called Rashpal Nandhray, who is the CEO of Satkeer Catering, one of the UK's finest catering companies, Indian companies, if not one of the best catering company. From delivering unforgettable weddings and corporate events to building a trusted brand in the hospitality industry, Rashpal has earned a reputation of quality, passion, and excellence. I can vouch for that. In episode 81, we'll be talking about his entrepreneurial journey, how he successfully taken Satkeer Catering from beyond UK borders. So not just your school hall or your beer party, he's taken it across the ocean. So he's taken it international. So we're going to find out a bit more about that, and also some of the struggles he had along the way, and just in general, some talking about his catering company, which is amazing. So let's bring in, without further ado, let's bring in Mr. Rashpal Nandhray, Satkeer Catering. Rashpal, how's it going, my brother?
Not too bad, Biggie. How are you?
I'm good, my man. Let me just take this out of your face and put that there instead. Now I can see. Hey, you okay?
Yeah, good. Not too bad. Just enjoying the weather when I'm not working, but it's a nightmare when you're catering and doing events.
Oh, I can imagine with the heat, it must be crazy, eh?
Oh, it's mad. It's absolutely crazy. But in the heat, people don't generally eat, so it's hard to manage. They drink a lot more, so you've got to manage that. But the main thing is when you're transporting food, you've got to make sure it doesn't go off.
That's true, actually. Yeah, 100%. But the drink can't be a major problem, can it? Or is it just the riffraff that comes with it?
It's the drink that's not a problem. It's running out of ice that can be a problem, or keeping the drinks cold.
I've been to a few functions actually where the ice has run out.
Yeah. Apart from that, yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Okay, Satpal, do you want to just tell me something about Satkeer Catering? Let's get the show on the road, and about yourself.
Well, Satkeer Catering was a dream of mine. I always wanted to launch Satkeer Catering, obviously coming from the events industry as DJ. So it is something which I felt very passionate about. I felt that the events industry, in terms of especially hospitality, the people weren't delivering in terms of what they were promised they will, in terms of quality of food, quality of service, and being in DJ, going to these weddings and the way sometimes the guests are treated, it was not how I was happy. And I'm watching some of these catering companies were like just thinking, okay, let's put the food on the table, let's just cash in on the big money and like to improve many jobs as possible. So I want to launch Satkeer Catering, being a bespoke catering company, concentrating on quality in terms of food and service. I enjoy my food, and I will not put anything on the plate which I don't enjoy eating myself. So that was the whole idea behind Satkeer Catering, to put something which I personally enjoy doing, which is eating good quality food, and I want my guests who attend any other event which was Satkeer Catering is catering at to enjoy the food we put on the table.
Okay, a bit about you. Who inspired you when you were younger?
Who inspired me when I was younger? I mean, there's many people, but I mean, if you want to go back to who inspired me in terms of business and how to run a business, was my dad. My dad's a builder, and he was well-renowned builder within the industry, and he used to do a lot of new builds, and then he went to doctor surgeries. During the recession, he was constantly knocking work back because he was just too busy in terms of work. And he always said, always deliver what you promise to the client. You give a good job, you make sure you deliver it, make sure you deliver it on the highest standard possible, and that's what's going to give you the next job. So I think my dad was an inspiration in terms of business ethics and how to run a business, how to look after your workforce. He always said to me, no matter what happens, whether you make a single penny or not, you make sure your team get paid first. You're the last one on the payroll sheet. You make sure, because those people are the backbone of your business. You can't go out there and run your business alone. You need a big team and a good team. And they're only going to show up to work if you look after them, treat them like your own, and pay them on time. Whether you make a single penny or not, you make sure your team get paid. And that's what's always inspired me to make sure that, when I go to a job, I've got to make sure my team get paid. They do a job, get paid. It's not where they're going to be working for 3 days, and after 3 days, I go, here's your money. It's you count on Friday, you get your money, go. Come back Saturday, you get your money, you go. So it's this that I think he was the one who inspired me in terms of business ethics and how to run a business.
Fantastic. Okay, what values guided you throughout your life? You kind of like touched on it, so I'm assuming it's your father, isn't it? His values
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah. I mean, every time I step out of line, he puts me back in line. He watches everything we do. I mean, I've got a couple of good friends of mine, Tanji and Rav. Yeah, they always, watch what we do. And when we go out, they always say, "Oh, you got to do this, do that," and try and keep me in line with everything that I do. So I have a good group of close friends who want me to succeed. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, you want me to succeed. But you do have that especially in the culture where people don't want you to succeed. But I'm fortunate enough to have a couple of really good friends, Aki, Tanji, and Rav. I'm willing to have good breed. I'm happy to name these people on live on here, as they have been my backbone in terms of supporting me, giving me encouragement. Because when I launched Satkeer Catering, I was always scared whether it's going to be I'm going to fall flat on my face, even though I know the industry very, very well. You have that thing in the back of your head, like,
Of course you do, yeah.
Success, you're going to put your lot of time and effort into it, and is it going to work? So I think Tanji and Rav gave me a lot of encouragement to do it. They said, you got to do it. It was just them having the timing was meant to be right for me to launch Satkeer Catering. At the time, I mean, it was 2 years ago, Biggie. It's been 2 years since I was on Gupcast with you. So
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, 2 years. Obviously, I spoke about the journey of my personal journey and personal development. Obviously, my back injury. I don't want to talk about that too much. It's quite public. There, I talk quite openly what happened to me. But that led me to launch Satkeer Catering at the time. So I was not in a good place with my back injury where I couldn't walk. And I was just lucky to have the support of my family, my close friends who helped me launch Satkeer Catering. And hard work, passion, and perseverance kept me doing it. I mean, in any business, you have good days, you have bad days, and the bad days sometimes think, is it worth it? Should I carry on? The good days is, you want to carry on, keep driving, but you need to see the bad days in order to enjoy the good days. With any business, you have that circle going up and down. So it's, you got to stick with it. If you're passionate about something, you got to stick with it. Perseverance, keep going. And that's what I did. I just lucky enough to have a good support team around me when I was down, or when I was thinking, have I made the right decision? That my close knit friends and family kept me going. They kept supporting me. I mean, in the back of my head, I never asked for investment from anyone. I never took a single penny of everyone. So to me, it was like, to shut up shop was quite easy, because I never owed anyone a single penny. It was all off my own back. But it was my close knit family and friends who said, no, you're going to be success. You've got to stick with it. And the first 3 or 4 years of any business was tough. I thought I knew the industry, which I did, but I thought, launching Satkeer Catering, go out there, tell everyone I've set this company up. It was hard work, but I had to prove myself, doing small jobs, 150 to 100 to 150, led to 200, led to 250. But it was me going out there, and I had to prove myself in a very, very competitive industry that I can deliver. We've done it with the DJing industry. We launched it. We've done very, very well for 26 years. But I had to go out there and prove myself in a different field within the same industry as in the hospitality industry, to say that, I'm a new company, and trust me, I can deliver. And 12 and a half years on, I can't remember, it was 36 or 32 or 33 awards we've won. Been nominated 39, 40 times. We look back and think, in 12 and a half years, we ain't done too badly.
It's true, definitely. Okay, if you can go back and give one piece of advice to a younger Rashpal, what would it be?
Believe in yourself. Anyone who wants to do anything, believe in yourself. Make sure you got good network of friends around you who support your family. Won't always support you. The Aristodar won't always support you. But if you've got a good, close friends, like brothers, Tanji, Rav, they're my brothers. They stack with me. Aki stack with me. They encourage me. They help me a lot. If you've got a good set of friends who are like your brothers, who you give your life to, they will support you. They will encourage you. And just believe in yourself. Reach out. If you need to talk to somebody you trust. Sometimes just blowing off steam or getting stuff off your chest to get some talk about how to move things better, just to see those bad days through. But just believe in yourself. Don't give up. Keep going, because the good days will come. If you're passionate about what you're doing and you're want to achieve something, just keep going and believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to get that mindset right that you can achieve what you're trying to do.
Okay, what does success mean to you today?
Success for me today is putting dal roti on the table for my family and having roof
100%.
over my head.
100%. That's such a humble answer.
That's what
Okay,
we
so
all work for.
that's it. Was there ever what challenges did you face earlier on? Like obviously the catering industry is massive. So and
It
there must have
is.
been lots of catering. There must have been like, well, I can think of about 5 on top of my head.
I mean, the challenges was is having a brand new company launched in a very highly competitive and a very good industry. There's many, many, many good caterers out there, and you're challenging them. You're new, you're fresh, you've got fresh ideas. But the main question is somebody willing to part their hard-earned cash for you, on you, and trust you? So you have to deliver. So it was mainly building the trust up that I had through the DJ industry, that we delivered the DJ circuit week in, week out for many, many years. Is can I do that with the food? And food is very, very important. Everybody remembers two things at a function: the food and the DJ.
The DJ, yeah, 100%.
All right. The DJ's got to rock that dance floor, and the food's got to be on point. Because when you walk away, you hear, "Oh, roti swansdi. Oh, how's the wedding? Yeah, roti swansdi. Who did the roti?" That's what they talk about. No matter what is, if the roti is not hot and nice, they're going to talk about it. They say DJ, but they say about roti swansdi. Or they're going to say, "Thandi sigi, eh sigi." Or they're going to say, "Thale lagi hui sigi." Or
Yeah.
those are the comments you're going to get. You sat there as a guest. We've all sat there as a guest and said, "I don't like this." So you've got to deliver consistently. Don't have one good week and have 3 bad weeks. You've got to deliver consistently, week in, week out. You've got to deliver.
Okay, what makes Satkeer Catering stand out from the rest?
We're a bespoke catering company in the fact that I only do 1 function a day. I don't want to do 3 or 4 functions and have the headache. I did that during lockdown.
Sorry? Have you ever done that? Put that
I
pressure
have.
on yourself.
During lockdown. So when we had lockdown, before lockdown, we had so many dates in the diary. Then obviously lockdown came in, weddings stopped. So I was Satkeer Catering. We were the first one to go onto social media and said to all our customers, take your money back, or we're holding to your deposit. Your date's secured. We're not running off with your money. Because I know during that period, a lot of customers lost a lot of money. The suppliers weren't giving their money back. We were the first one to turn around and say, here's your money's back. Get in touch with us. Your money's secure. We'll give every single penny, 100p in the pound. We're willing to give back to you, or we'll hold on to your money and you can rebook us. When Boris Johnson reopened up the market for weddings and weddings kicked off, all of a sudden the phones went mad. We were taking on a lot of work. Obviously, we had an empty diary because our previous customers had not booked in. So we were taking on a lot of work. Then all of a sudden, the people who already booked in with us started ringing, we want these dates. And they were obviously my priority because they already booked us. Then we already had new customers come in to give in their money. So it was a situation where it was only for a short period of maybe 5 to 6 weeks where we had multiple bookings. I think one weekend I did 6 weddings. The following weekend I did 4. And the couple have been, the catering company, they went bust. They phoned the venue, said, we told you to use our in-house caterers. You should have used them. 2 weeks for the wedding, they rang me up and I was like, already just knowing I've got a hectic period coming up. I've got 6 weddings, I've got 3 weddings. There's 4 because I had the night before, there's no juggle as well. So I was like, who in a hurry? And then I simply said, just do the function. This is one of the venues I recommend you. I did the function. I said to the bride and the mother in the car, yes, I'll do a function. They cried on the phone for 5 minutes on the phone before they were so happy. But the whole period, it was very stressful in terms of making sure you deliver every single function. Doing 6 weddings over 2 days is hard work. We had 2 vans. We had to hire in extra 4 vans. It was 2 vans in, 2 vans out. We had lists everywhere, wondering what's going on, and it was it was good. The fact that we were really, really busy. I slept 5 or maybe 6 hours that week, and I said, did I enjoy those 6 weddings we did? No. We were too stressed to worry about what's going on. And as soon as that period finished, I said, we're going to go back to doing 1 function a day. We're going to go back to delivering what we promised, which is 1 function a day. My best team on the job, my best chefs, my best waiting team, my best event management team.
To that person,
and that's what we're going to do. Yeah, so that's why people book us. They know what they're going to get. Because I'll guarantee you, we're only going to do your function. We're not going to do another function down the road or in another part of the country. We are only going to do your function on that day. So you're guaranteed what we're going to promise you is going to arrive on your plate.
Fair enough. How important is customer service in the catering industry or the hospitality industry?
Customer service is very important. Because when people come to you, it's the person behind the product. If the person likes you, they're going to like your product. So customer service is very, very important. You have that relationship with your customers. They're coming to you and they're going to trust you with one of the biggest days of their lives. So if you turn up when you've got an ego, you've got an attitude problem, the customers are going to sit back and always think, is this the right person for me? You might have the good product which is going to put on the table, but can I work with him? And I tell this to every bride who's going to come through my door for food tasting. I might not be the right person for you for a number of reasons. It could be budget, it could be mainly it's budget, or we just not like the food thereafter. But I said, you're going to pick the best team for you for your day, which might not be include me, it might do, but look at the person who you're dealing with. Same with makeup artists, same with videography. You got to look at them and you got to smile. You got to say, you know what? He's doing what I've asked him to do, and they're delivering for me on my day. So you got to make sure that you pick the right people. But it's not just the product; it's the person who's delivering the product. You got to make sure you connect with them and enjoy the service they're going to bring. You could pick the phone up. I'm going to mention this girl's name, Ruby. She said she's going to tune in. I arranged her wedding in 6 weeks, and the month before the wedding, she did it at North Mims Park. The month before the wedding, I was like a bridesmaid. I was texting every morning saying, you're getting married in 30 days. You're getting married in 29 days. You're getting married 28 days. Do you know you're getting married this day? Even a week before the wedding, has your lenga arrived? She might say, it's going to come. It's coming on Thursday. You're getting married Saturday. You got 3 outfits. Oh, I've got a backup just in case. Rang a Thursday. Is your lenga arrived? Oh, this will come in this afternoon. You're getting married in less than 40 hours. So, you build that relationship and they trust you for it. So
it's that personal touch, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that personal touch, and that's customer services. And, you've got to make sure that the client can trust you. They can pick the phone up and ring you. And, if they've got issues, you try and help them resolve issues. So there's with Ruby, we did a lot of fun. We saved a lot of money on a number of other suppliers. But, 6 weeks to arrange a wedding in North Mims Park, it was hard work, but we did it. So, but it's this, we got on, we connected straight away from the outset, we connected.
Okay, not just Satkeer catering, but how has the catering industry changed in recent times?
I think the whole industry changed in terms of numbers. I think the clients becoming more sophisticated. They know what they want. They before they turn up to have you taste your food or book, but they know what they want in their head. Then it's just down to whether they can, it's affordability, whether they can afford having that vision. My job is to create the vision for them. If they want, we listen to the requirements and we guide them through the process. If things don't work, we tell them from the outset, maybe we've got to do things differently. So the industry's changed in terms of the client is more sophisticated. They know what they want before they walk through the door, and the size of the weddings have now, gone the days of 600 people weddings. It's very rare you do a wedding for 600 people. They're becoming more close-knit in terms of close family, close friends. Average wedding now is about 200, 300, 250, 200, 300 people. Some weddings, you're like hitting 100 people. I did a wedding 3 weeks ago. It's only 100 people, and they want to keep it close-knit, very, very close family, and very, very close friends. We did a wedding 150 people. Again, it was just close people. So they're not inviting the neighbor and the following neighbor or the next door neighbor's cousin. They're inviting people they want there, people who they've got connections with, people who they can relate to, not diabetics, next door neighbors, Monday. They're trying to keep it local, trying to keep it closer. Because everything's expensive. When it's an expensive business. So they're trying to enjoy the experience with the people they want to enjoy that experience with.
100%. I remember my wedding, there's 800 people there, and I was like, whoa.
Wow.
Okay, so let's get to the main talking point now. So you took your whole team abroad, didn't you? How many people did you take?
Yes. From Portugal, I had 4 of my team from Portugal arrive, and from London, I took 4 of us from London. So there's a total of 8 of us who went to Spain.
So the people that were already abroad, they were already there?
Yeah, they were in Portugal. One of my chefs moved to Portugal in Lisbon 2.5 years ago, and I traveled to Spain a lot for work reasons, and I started going to the local Godoy in Tarragona, and they helped me quite a bit when I needed somebody, and they reached out to me and looked after me. And then I was there one day and I said to them, because last year Basaki was on a Sunday, so this is 8 months in advance. And I said, what happens at Basaki here? And they said, oh, either somebody books last minute or the Gurdwara do the Langar. And we were launching in Spain already because we had a function already booked for December that year, so 4 months before Basaki. So in my head, I was thinking, I want to do something here. And I went to the Gurdwara. It felt like the Gurdwara used to be 20, 30 years ago. The Sangat get in, they all mix in. For me, I'm from Neville Road, so I used to go to Neville Road Gurdwara. I grew up at Neville Road Gurdwara. And that's when the Sangat used to do everything, to get together. They would watch the bande, they're going to cook. It felt like Neville Road was back in the 80s and early 90s for me. And that's how I grew up. So I got an attachment there, and obviously the committee members, I got to know all the committee members. I fell ill once, and they reached out. They said, "Come and made me tea, made me protein, ring me after protein, halo cha." And I knew I like my protein, I like my cha. And they used to ring me in the morning, "Baji, wo cha ban gaye protein, ban come to good. How stadium is only 5 minutes drive from there." And I sat there and I said, if nobody books Basaki, I will do it for you, right? And I'll bring my team over, we'll do it. And they said, okay, no problem. And when I was there in December, we just done the first function in Spain at December. And then after the function, the next day I went to the Gurdwara on the Sunday. And I was sitting there talking to them.
Sorry, Rashpal. So you're already doing functions in Spain, is that right?
Yeah, we launched in December that year. So in 2025, I launched in Spain.
And how many functions have you already done in Spain?
We've done 2 functions and obviously the Gurdwara, so we've done 3 overall. So and then obviously
so you decided to do the Vasaki.
Yeah, so December went there, and this is my birthday, so I gave birthday at the Gurdwara, and I talked to them. I said, "Has anyone booked for Vasaki?" They said no. I said, "Okay, we just done the first function. We had a few logistic problems getting off supplies. So I was still learning the industry, learning the marketplace to where I can buy everything from." And I said to them, I'm going to do it. It's my birthday. I just gave him, birthday to the Gurdwara for the Sangha. And I said, we're going to do it, guaranteed. And they said, are you sure? I said, yeah, we're going to do it. And they said, well, how many people normally come? They said, about 250, 300 people, maximum, no more than 300 people. I said, not a problem from my side. We're going to do the Basaki Langar. You've helped me. This is me giving back to the community of the Sikh community of Spain in Tarragona. And they said, okay, no problem. And they said, what are you proposing to make? And I said, our national dish is chole bhature.
Yeah.
That's in Punjab, it's chole bhature. So I said, we're going to do chole bhature. So we said, in the morning, we're going to do pakore. We're going to bring kaju barfi from London, which I took from London. We took 7 kg of barfi from London. Imli, we made imli in London. We froze it in the pulp form, 8 liters. We put it in suitcases. We took it to Spain, and when we landed in Spain, we took the good day still frozen. So we 8 liters of mango, imli pulp. Then we defrosted and made 16 liters. We had these videos on social media of us cutting the gunde and grating the gajar, put it all in there. So we done videos for it. And then we did palle. My mum made the palle. My mum makes absolutely fantastic palle. She makes all my palle. So we made 600 palle. We froze them. In the morning, we put it in 2 suitcases and we took it to Spain. Which I did my research, and there's certain things you could take with no questions asked. The rest of it we brought out there. So we did gore, we had masala tea. We had which my sister made. She makes really good masala tea. And for lunch we had chole bhature, dal makhani, jeera mixed vegetables, and kheer. So that was the menu, and it was literally all I said to them was, all I need is a bunch of women or sangha to help bail the bhature for us. And we had first we had 7, 8 women start, then they stopped, another 8, 7, 8 women joined. Well, it gave us, the 3 of us were frying, and the rest of the team were cooking everything, and we had mango lassi as well. So It was a really fantastic experience. Seva for me, you do not advertise. As a Punjabi, seva is in our nature.
100%.
And I personally do not believe in advertising seva. So I never advertised to anyone in the UK that Satkeer Catering is launched in Spain. Had to celebrate the launch of Satkeer Catering in Europe. We're doing Basaki Langar for 3 days. I didn't advertise it. I kept very quiet. I told the team, we're going to tell the close-knit people we work with what we're doing. We're going to Spain. We launched in Spain. We're going to do Basaki Langar now. So we didn't advertise. We kept it quiet. But then in Spain, when they sent the invite to the Sangat, they actually advertised. They didn't say it's Satkeer Catering. They said Langar's by Rashpal Nandhray from UK.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we had 400 people show up.
I was going to say because Spain's got a lot of Punjabi
Yeah,
Sangat,
I
haven't
mean, especially Tarragona, that's the only Gurdwara. So the surrounding little cities, so Slough, Camberley, Lapinda, all those tourist areas, they all go to the one Gurdwara. And for us, you know, I said to my team, my chef, I said, no, langar bona khulle dil na banana. There's
100%.
quick community honi chahiye. I don't want no complaints. Said quick community honi chahiye. Khulle dil na banana. It's all on me. There's no, I don't want no comebacks. So we made langar for 600 people.
Wow. Okay.
Just to make sure that there's no comeback. Because even though they said 250, 300 people are going to turn up, I said, on that, you know, we're going to have plenty langar and it's going to kulle din number. I mean, that's what we did. We had langar for 600 people. Friday, Saturday, you know, Friday we only had like 20, 30 people come. Saturday again, you know, 50 people throughout the day. We had brought here, we made Mitte Cholan Day. So we know nothing spectacular. So everyone knew Sunday. And they start the programs late in Spain. They start around about 10 o'clock. By 9:30, people coming through the door. 10 o'clock, you know, we were doing the breakfast. Breakfast goes on until 12, half 12, and then they stop. So we had pakode and they from the Buddha, they did Gold Cup themselves. So we had langar going for 2.5 hours for the breakfast, and then around about 1 o'clock, we stopped the breakfast and we turned around for langar. And the afternoon lunch, I think they started around about 2 o'clock. And what I really liked at this particular Gurdwara is they do all the kirtan, adas, everything, and the langar for lunch is not served until the whole kirtan, everything's finished. And then they.
But there's no more sneaking off dances for little quick langar bite first.
No, there's none of that. You could do your pakora for your breakfast pakora and matai and everything, but when we stopped at 1 o'clock. That 1 hour, there was, if somebody come late, there was, you know, we gave them this pakora and everything was still available. But the main langar, they put the chadras out, rose a cup outside. It was a lovely day. Let everybody come out together. So there must have been the seats. I mean, if we had 6 rows, they must have seen about 200 people sit out there comfortably on the floor. So they waited. Every place is packed. They're giving out the plates and the glasses and the spoon. And then the head Sevadar, you know, he goes, "What is on here? You know, where was your Khalsa?" And then all of a sudden, everybody's out with the food. So it's not queuing up. There's food's going out and everyone's eating together. Has people finishing, they're getting up. A new person sits down. Plates are coming out. So it's a fantastic experience for me to go. You know, it's a personal fulfillment. I really wanted to do it, and I'm really glad I did it. And my team are really glad that we chose to do it, and we're glad the good that we chose to do. We did it there. So I told my sister, "Go when you go there, just watch. After a little while, you're going to feel it's like never a good." And she said, "You know what? Yes, it does feel like never."
Whereabouts is this in Spain?
Tarragona. So it's 1 hour away from Barcelona.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I've been to the Barcelona Gurdwara. It's just off the Ramblers, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a very small Gurdwara. You got
upstairs. Yeah. It's bigger now. It's a lot bigger now, that Barcelona one.
Okay.
And then, you know, when we finished, we had mango lassi as well. We made mango lassi. It was fantastic. Absolutely an amazing experience. For me, you know, it was for my whole team. We loved the experience. We loved what we did there. And it was about 4 o'clock. So the Sangat started coming to the kitchen. We know they've had so much food left over. They normally give it to the Sangat, and the head Seva goes, "So normally I have to ask people to take the sabji bachia, lajo, which is hot."
They're coming back to you.
And he goes, "Oh, stand there." And some lady comes, she goes, "Badi, jel langar bachia malajma." And he goes, "Yep," because Bibi 2 minute hajo mahuni tiyar kan laga. He goes, this is that for almost the Sangat already eaten. And all of a sudden the secretary, he come along and goes, "My wife couldn't make it langar to bach ke mainu de de, like my wife, I want to take it for my wife." And he looked at me and goes, "That's the first time he's ever come here and asked for langar for his wife. He's never done. He does eat some. Yeah." And then all of a sudden we had an influx of people coming to the kitchen going, "Langar bachcha sanu de do." Right. So we had I think 25 kg of atta. So you can know how many pature we made. We made so much pature. And we averaged like 2 pature, 3 pature per person. People eating 5, 6 pature. And it was the date palle, the imli. We had imli on the top, the palle as well. And people just kept eating, and they're like going, "This is amazing."
Yeah.
it was just for me to see everyone happy, people coming up to us like saying thank you very much. I said, if this you picked this good to serve, and it was just such an amazing experience. And then watching everyone, people come in the kitchen saying, "Oh, the langar bachas anu de do." Well, listen, they had
Even
like
better.
people that they were pouring the bags, and they're like people standing there handing the food out. And it was just amazing. And when we were at the hotel, we showered, rested, we all got together and we sat there and we said, you know what? We just felt so humbled. We felt so relieved that we had the opportunity with Maharaj Kripa to do seva in a foreign country, and everybody appreciated it. It was not like the UK where it's all changed now. Every single person who showed up, they appreciated what we did. And I went back to Gurdwara on a Monday afternoon just to see everybody. And they said, well, we're getting phone calls from Barcelona, Gurdwara, we're getting phone calls from here. ਅਸੀਂ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਸਾਡੀ ਬਸਾਕੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਬਾਹਰ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਕੇਟਰਿੰਗ ਕੰਪਨੀ ਆ ਕੇ ਲੰਗਰ ਕੱਟ ਕੇ ਗਏ and they go ਹਾਂਜੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਤਕੀ ਕੇਟਰਿੰਗ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲੰਗਰ ਕੀਤੀ. I had a phone call from Barcelona, Gurdwara, saying if you ever want to do it again, please consider doing Barcelona. Sadhi sangat jade hundi hai. You did it there. And I said, if it ever happens, Maharaj Kripanan, if we get the opportunity again, we will consider it. But thank you for the phone call. It's a major talking point that everybody said. One, the langar was amazing. Two, that somebody from the UK flew over and cooked langar for 400 people on Baisakhi Day. And it was just an amazing experience.
Okay, what's some of the biggest challenges you have? Obviously, like you might go to a wedding, say in the UK, and maybe the gas chulla ain't working or something. What's some of the challenges you had over there?
It happened. We went to a function in January, and the chulla, the gas pipe, the chulla pitch, and it broke. And I sat there. First, the guy came and goes, "Baji chulla tut gaya." I said, "What chulla? It's cast iron." And I looked at it. I said, "I'll put it together and put kapra around it." And we tried that, it wouldn't work. Luckily, it was only for 100 people. And I looked at it and I said, okay, chal, kuch tak kar nahi sakte. Inside they had electric. It was all electric. To cook a lamb curry on electric, heated curry up on electric.
Takes about 4 hours to heat up, don't it?
Exactly. So what we did, we put we put the paneer on the cooker. So I had somebody monitoring that. And then we put everything in containers and we started heating up everything in the microwaves. We had our own commercial microwaves, which they're very powerful.
But did you have any problems when you were in Spain?
In Spain, we had no problem. Spain, it was everything was in July. Everything was there. The Gurdwara had all the facilities. For a small Gurdwara, they had all the facilities. Good thing about when we did the langar in Spain is the seva that took us to the market in the first thing in the morning. So Saturday morning, he rang me at 7 o'clock. Baji, I said no problem. We got there 9 o'clock. Went to the market, outdoor market. It was like Green Street Market, all these vendors there. We managed to pick everything, and he knew where to get everything. So he took us to all the places. We had everything, bought everything. Even stuff which the Gurdwara wanted. If he would need stuff for the Gurdwara, I paid for everything. I said, I'm here, it's not going to cost me much more to do the Gurdwara seva. So we went there, and it was literally, you saw, I think, one of the videos on YouTube, part 1, you see us in the market showing fresh strawberries, the aloo, the bangan, it is just amazing, massive. It must have been about half a mile long of open market with fresh fruit, fresh vegetables. You could, the strawberries when they're fresh and you can sell it sweet, you could smell them. They're like smell them like covering half the market, and it's just busy. So lucky he showed me where the market is, and then we went to Macro to buy a lot of frozen stuff. The day we bought from Macro. So, we're lucky in that instance, even though I knew bits and pieces where to buy stuff from my first catering experience there. We were lucky that this guy took us to the market. Everything was bought fresh. Everything else, the masala, we make our own masala. Garam masala, we make it our own. We grind it. My team, they sit there grind. They hate me for it, but they grind it. But that adds the unique flavor to our cooking. That I took from London. We had to look a little big box in the techi, and we had to write garam masala on it just in case it get pulled over. But I already did the research and taking stuff. My visits to Spain, I was testing what you can take in suitcases. So we did all that. So the masala, all my masala came from London. and the fresh produce, you can't take any dairy products, so all the fresh produce was bought Saturday morning from the local market, and what an experience to go out there.
Basically,
I think
anything that smells, you're not allowed to take in a suitcase, so you anything that's going to go off.
no, you can't take
Like
any
dairy.
perishable goods, no dairy products that get picked up. So, I mean, even liquid, Imli, they said is going to go through, and I read, as long as it's frozen, it'll go through. And we froze 8, we split it up in 3 and 2, and we had like 6 suitcases, so we split everything up. So if one get caught, then at least something else will go through. But everything with Maharaj Kripa, I think he's looking down us. Everything went through. We had no issues. And the paneer got made fresh by a local supplier there. They had a catch and carry opposite the Gurdwara. So, Mr. Bagahi, I rang him. I said, I want this. So he got the paneer ready for me, for the vegetables. So everything, it was done. You couldn't plan something even better. And we went in blind, knowing this has got the back of my back. And when the first function we did in association with another company where we were learning, is my function we did with them. We had all the equipment, all the crockery, cutlery, so I didn't have to take nothing from the UK. But this is my first one. Even they stepped in and said, we can help you. Whatever. I said, no. I don't want no help from nobody. I don't want no. But he said, well, which quick company it's got to be done by me. Right. So I said, be relying on somebody else now. I don't want anything going wrong with my seva. It's got to be me. It's got to be Satkeer Catering and the team. It's got to be from the Satkeer Catering family. And no matter what implications or complications we're going to get, we're going to oversee it. But everything went through so well. It was better than most catering jobs. We had no problems. And the Sangat there, beautiful Sangat, they helped us out when we needed, even to the point where we said, now, right? They stopped us. They said, no, ਤੁਸੀਂ both kar le sade vaste, leave this to us. We're going to wash all the pande. I said, no, we'll do it. We use them. And they said, no, they minta kar. I said, Paji, please let us wash the patille. Let us do it. So I said, okay, guys, thank you very much, guys. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੁਝ ਕੀਤਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ. And even I went to Basaki this year, and there was like people say, oh, you were here last year, you did the longer last year. I said, yeah, they're like, when you come back, I said, when the time is right, we will be back. But it's all timing. It's all written. When it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
That's it. So if somebody was to take the business abroad, or somebody was going to take, what advice would you give them? To expand internationally?
It's a lot of risk. You've got to go out there, do your research, learn the market. And luckily for me, I got to Spain quite a bit. So I spent a year learning my market. I was making connections. I've got to go to the Gurdwara, depending on what you got to do. Obviously, I went to Gurdwara, I got to know the Sikh community. They got to know me. So, when we're talking about launching, they already knew that we're coming over. And when we said we're going to do the Langar here, people were excited that they got somebody from a UK catering company coming over. We made history by being the first ever British Indian catering company in the UK to go abroad into Europe and do Basaki Langar. That was history made by Satkeer Catering. No other catering companies done that. Individual people going there and given donations or said Langar Sunday, well, you make it. But we were the first ever Punjabi catering company in the UK to go to Spain, to take it all across and do what we do in the UK in Spain. And that was history which was made. And that's something which is going to be our legacy as Satkeer Catering, that we broke borders by going and doing what we did at the Gurdwara. A lot of people do in the UK. Some Gurdwaras trying to say, Sandu Pastor, they'll tell us what you want. Our team will make it for you. This was nothing like it. It was from us. It was done from my heart, from my team's heart. We did everything fantastically well, and the Sangat there were amazing. They appreciate what we did, and they helped us where we needed help.
Okay,
so
you just mentioned your team. How do you motivate and inspire your team?
They motivate and inspire me. I don't even motivate. Originally, when we started, I had to tell them my vision. Once they were sold, they now motivate me. They keep me going. So when I said I want to do Spain, I rang my chef, call him Binder, his name Kuldeep Singh. So I said, Binder, he goes, Paji, I've got your back. He goes, you told me, be sure in Portugal, I go, you have to come over. No problem. I go, team Katikar. He goes, leave it to me. He goes, you told me, he goes, wherever you're standing, I'm going to stand with you shoulder to shoulder.
Wow.
Where you told me to stand, I'm going to stand with you, shoulder to shoulder. I've got your back, just like you've had my back all these years. So that gave me the confidence. Said, like, we're going to do what we're going to do. After doing the function in December and doing the function for the Gurdwara, the Pasaki one, it sort of gave me more motivation. So I started learning a lot more new ways where to buy stuff, and that helped me give me the confidence to go out. So I can go to Spain tomorrow now and do a function in 2 weeks' time. So I know exactly what to do. We're going to Lisbon, sorry, we're going to Porto in Portugal. We'll do a function in the 3rd of September. The only reason I'm happy to go and do it is my team. I have a team in Porto. But that junction, we're taking the Julla, we're taking the Tandoor, whatever we can take from the UK. We're going to take over there, and we're just going to buy the fresh produce from and the dairy products from Porto.
So you can't like take your tandoor and everything in a suitcase. Do you ship it over?
No, we're driving. We're sending two vans.
Cool.
So yeah, we're gonna drive there. We're gonna leave. You know, so to go to Porto, to go to the venue where it is, but where the house we picked out, it's only half an hour from the venue to go. So from door to door, it was a 23-hour continuous drive. So stopping, you're looking about 30-hour drive with stopovers. It's 3 drivers. We take turns to drive. So we leave Saturday. We'll be planning to arrive in Porto on the Monday morning, and then the function's on the Thursday. So Monday we have a rest day. Tuesday we start prepping. Wednesday we'll finish the prep work. Thursday smash out the function. Friday afternoon check out and start driving back to the UK. So I'm confident enough to, after I've already done what I've done in Spain, and the fact that I have my team, my chef in Lisbon to do whatever I need to do. And I've said to him, this would be a nice launch again for us to start getting more function. We've done a small function in Porto already for 50 people, which they did. So it's nice for us to do other stuff. And hopefully, we are looking at Italy. I'm going to start planning my Italy expansion late this year, early next year. Again, I'm going to start going out there, going to the Gurdwara, getting to know the market, getting to know this. For maybe 5 years ago, I did say to somebody, destination weddings are going to pick up, and Italy's the destination is going to be. And guess what? Lake Como is being really busy with destination weddings. So it's just me not being able to go out to Italy because I've been concentrating on the Spain and the Portugal arm. But now it's time for me to look at maybe going to Italy, Lake Como, and start building my research, going out there, putting my face at the Gurdwara, building up contacts, learning where the local market is, learning what the local produce is, what's available, what's not available. So it does take time. When you're part of the EU, all you have to do is chuck everything in the van, drive across, no questions.
Yeah.
Now we're no longer the EU. You have to go out there and plan. You've got to know your market. You've got to know where to obtain supplies. You've got to make sure you know what you can take from the UK, what's feasible, and where to go out there and buy stuff. You don't want to be there cooking, chutney masala, and then realize you can't get on the chutney. So you've got to know where the Indian shops are, stuff like that. Because you've got to be sensible in what you take from the UK. You can't take everything.
Okay, you touched on your qualities of your team. What qualities do you look for when you're looking for new staff? Because obviously you're expanding now, so you're going to be doing Italy soon, like you said. You're going to need new staff. What quality do you look for in staff?
One is loyalty. I'm very passionate about loyalty. I won't take anyone who's not loyal. I've been shafted before already. So loyalty to me is number 1 key. And 2 is eager to learn. I'm a chartered accountant. Okay. So when I left university to get my first job, somebody took a risk on me by giving me a job and trained me to become an accountant. So I'm always willing to train somebody as long as they're eager to learn. They've got to have that passion to learn. They've got that eagerness to do something with themselves. It's their own personal development and self-fulfillment. They've got to have that drive, say,
yeah.
Okay. My job is just to keep them motivated and keep them going. If you say, I want to become a chef, we'll talk to them, say, why do you become a chef? You go through that process. If you say, if you say you've got that eye of the tiger, that killer look in the eye, that they want to achieve something, I am willing to take time out to train them. But loyalty does play a big part in it. So I don't want to train somebody and 2 days later, when they're good enough, to go and leave me. So there is that element of loyalty. If I think somebody's going to do that, then I won't take them on. Luckily for me, most of the people, bar a couple, have been very, very loyal to me. A couple of people I've taken in the past, after a few years, get a bit carried away and think they can set their own business up. So it happens. It happens. So I'm very, very particular who I'll take on and who I'll train.
Okay, and how important is teamwork? Because obviously, going abroad, or even in this country, you got to make sure that the team are actually able to work together.
Teamwork's important. So teamwork only works if the personalities match. So you got to make sure, and that comes down to me. There's no point me having people work together if they can't work together. So you got to make sure the personalities are right. You got to make sure the leader's right. You got to treat your team like your family, which is what I do. Like, he's going back to the ethics, that are the principles my dad taught me. Look after your team, because they will look after you. And I'm fortunate enough to be in that scenario now where my team look after me. I mean, like when we had the Gupcast, I told you about how serious my back injury when I couldn't walk. I lost both legs. Last year in May, I had a reoccurrence. I slipped and I had a reoccurrence, but this time it was only in one leg. I lost feeling in one leg. So I was going back in treatment with my chiropractor, physio. I'm still in physio now. I was walking with a walking stick. I was in a very, very bad way, but not as I was in 2013. And I should come to jobs. My team would not let me pick anything up. All I do was park the van up, get out. So I was limping. I was struggling to walk, struggling to stand. If I pick something up, they'll come running. Anybody put down? No, you're not doing nothing. Just watch the team. Just watch us. Just guide us. Tell us what needs to be done. Tell us what you need to do. So they look after me. I did my bit of looking after them in the early days. Now they look after me. Now the company I use for staff, they got about 300 staff on their books. I have my core 8 staff members within the team. So when I've got a small function, I'm guaranteed I'm going to have out of my core 3 or maybe all 4 out of the team. When I've got function only 20, 30 staff, my core 8 will be there. Then I'm going to have people who've worked with me on other jobs, so they know how to operate. And I might have maybe 3 or 4 new staff who need to learn. So, we make sure that they get looked after. We teach them how we work. They've had some of the staff had bad experiences at other catering companies, and they bring their own food. They turn up with their own food. I have to go at them. I said, what's wrong with my food? Why do you bring your food? Like, some of them are Gujarati, they bring their own Gujarati food. I say, that's for me. Now you go and eat my food. It's just, so I look after them. But every time we do a job, once the setup's done, I'll get my team there early. I don't like to rush my team. I don't want to turn up to do a wedding for 400 people. Now you got an hour to do the setup. So, we aim for like a minimum 2 hour, but I like a 3 hour setup time. So my team sat within 2 hours, they got relaxed. Then I feed them. We fry them small. So what I say, eat. It's going to get busy and you won't get time to eat till either after the event. Starters is basically, you right time starters, you're going to get them lukewarm. Main course, we get hot anyway, but some people don't even get to eat. So, we'll say to the team, make sure we'll fry them small, say chips, whatever you do, whatever we have, we'll make a point of making sure once we set up and they're ready, they eat. They're human. They're going to work hard for you. So you look after them, and they appreciate that. So every time I phone up or put in the group, we've got this job, and they go out to their staff. They say it's a Satkeer catering job. They all want to come to work for me. Because one, we have a good laugh. I look after them, and then get treated well. I treat them like they're one of my own members. Went to one function, and one of the guys was abusive, and he made one of the girls cry. I took her out of service. And the other girl, he made me upset. So I took 2 girls out of service. They were upset. But then I pulled my client to one side. I said, your father-in-law has just upset me. He upset myself. He was upset because he wanted to use his friend's catering company, not us, whereas they wanted to use us, so they booked us. So he was upset over that. So we had a beanies upon it. So he did everything he could to try and put us down. So I said to my client, I go, your father-in-law has just upset 2 of my girls. One's crying and one's about to cry. You need to sort this out. And I said to the girls, just calm down, relax, take time out, sort yourselves out. But then I said to my client, you need to let your father-in-law, this is not happening, because you can't, they're working, they have to do a job. You can't have the abusive behavior. Then I had to put one of the guys on that table, and that guy, he was quite thick-skinned. So the guy said something to me. He had the guts to give it back to him, but very politely, very professionally. And the people on the table were looking at him thinking, this guy just made you look like an idiot for the way you behaving. So, you've got to make sure you manage your team. You've got to make sure you look after. If they know that the boss is going to look after them, they will look after you. And 100%. Unfortunately for me, they have looked after the last 4 years. They have looked after me. Like last week, I was about to grab the tandoor to push the tandoor into the van. They turn up, buddy, get away. That's not your job. Well, one jumped in the van, two on the side, two at the back, push it through into the van. And I stood there, goes, why are you doing? Goes, we're here. Why are you touching? Why are you doing this? This is our job. So yeah, they do go out their way for you. If you look after them right, they will look after you.
Okay, you touched on this a little bit, but how important is giving back to the community?
Very important. Very, very important. I mean, as an individual, I give back a lot. As a company, we give back a lot. But like I said, doing seva is in the Punjabi nature. It's in our blood.
Definitely.
It's, gurus have written about doing seva. You don't advertise it and you don't promote it. I do a lot, but I don't advertise and I don't promote it. When we came back from Spain after Langar, we had the busiest. We landed on the Tuesday. We had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We had back-to-back events, and the word got out. And the people were saying to me, "Oh, you should have told us. We would have contributed. We would have contributed." I said, "Well, what are you going to contribute? The cost was in the food. The cost wasn't in the server. The cost was in staying there. Right? So what would you contribute?" So the word got out, and then I realized, how big and how important what we just did, how it's affected everyone. So that's the reason why we created the videos to show everyone that we went to Spain. Obviously, people know we're in Spain, but giving back to the community is very, 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 very important. Giving the opportunity to somebody to learn, again, very important. I'm more than happy to take somebody on who's willing to learn. So giving back is in our nature, it's in our Punjabi blood. So I do a lot of seva, but you'll never ever hear it mentioned. Once I had loads of drinks left over, and one of the Gurdwaras in Kent, the guy was my friend of mine was here, and he goes, they got some charity day or something. He goes, I said, I've got loads of Coke, it's going to get out of date in 3 months' time, take the lot. And he goes, no, give me 2 cases. I said, no, there's 6 cases, some lemonade, some juice. I chucked it all in his car. I said, you can take the lot. If you don't take it, I'm not giving you 1 or 2 cases. You want to take the whole lot or don't take it all. So he took the lot. I said, Mr. Sangat, they're going to use it there. You're going to, they're going to, weekends you can have it. And he goes, I'll get them to announce that is from you. I said, no, I've done my bit. In my heart, I've done my seva. I've donated it to the Gurdwara now. I don't want my name mentioned. You to give your name. From my heart, I've done my seva. I've given it to you. You're going to give it to the Gurdwara. They're going to use it for this weekend at some charity thing they're doing. I've done my bit, but do not mention my name and do not mention Satkeer Catering. What I've realized, we did for Nanak Swap, we did Langar once. I used to do it for Diwali, for Guru Nanak's birthday. We used to do Sholle and Chol. So and this time I said, shall we do book tune every once a month? I said, no, I do it when I want to do it. And I even said to them, I go, do not advertise that today's food's done by Satkeer Catering or Rashpal Nandhray. You're just going to say it's been donated by an individual. I do not want my name mentioned, and I do not want Satkeer Catering mentioned. Because what happens once the name of Satkeer Catering, not an individual, once the name of a catering company goes out, you get everybody phoning you up. So I don't want to be in that situation where I can say, no, I don't want to do the seva. If seva comes, you should do it and do it within your means. So I don't advertise what I do, and I do seva within my means when it's most appropriate for me to do it.
Fantastic. Okay, coming towards the end now. So what type of legacy do you want to leave with Satkeer Catering?
Legacy I want to leave is, one, we're a Punjabi catering company that broke borders. We went out to Spain and did something which nobody had the guts to do. And 2, to everyone to know that we're just a normal, down-to-earth, humble, family-run business who like to deliver in quality food and quality service, and we want to make our customers our friends. And I like them to come to me knowing they can talk to us openly as a friend, not as a client, customer, supplier relationship.
Fantastic. Okay, just turning the clock back. Where did the name Satkeer come from?
Okay, Satkeer Catering is the name of my kids. So my nephew is Satinder.
Yeah.
My niece is Kiran. And my son is Harkirat. So the SAT came from Satinder. The K came from Kiran. And the EER came from Harkirat.
Fantastic.
So I joined their 3 names together, and that's why when we do something, we're passionate about the name because the name represents and it means something to it. It means it's our kids, it's their legacy, which we create, it's their product. I mean, my son now has been going on jobs. He's 14 years old now, and he goes on jobs. He's been going on jobs since 12 years old. He's social media. We put him in front. He's learning the social media, talking to customers. Last Christmas and New Year's, he did all the Christmas and video posts. We go on jobs now. He talks about the job. He introduced him, so he's learning the business. He's passionate about it, and he's picking his option. He goes, Dad, I want to do food tech. I said, what's food tech? He goes, obviously, I'm going to take over Satkeer Catering. I'm going to learn about food. I said, mate, you're going to do design technology, because learning how to use a screwdriver and cutting a piece of wood, that's more in our blood than cooking roti. If you want to do tarka, your mum will teach you how to cook tarka. That's not a problem. You can worry about it afterwards. So the legacy is their name. It's down for me to create the legacy for them, something which they'll look back and appreciate what I did for them, and they will look back and say, yeah.
He's doing it though.
He loves it. He loves it. He gets upset when I can't take him to work some jobs. So I don't mind taking him, but then my wife steps in and goes, you're going to be back at 2 o'clock in the morning. You're not going. So obviously, so now summer holidays approaching. He will be on a lot more jobs with us. But during the school breaks, so during school terms, he can only go to a limited amount of jobs. So when we're doing Satkeer and Gurdwara functions, like weddings at the Gurdwara, where we just at the Gurdwara, he might turn up at 9 o'clock and stay till the end, whereas we might turn up at 5:30, 6 o'clock. So we slowly breaking him in. But now, summer holidays are coming, he will be attending a lot more jobs, but not jobs where we leave a crack early, dawn of the morning, and come back very late. He's still young, but yeah, he does learn. He's learning, and he does enjoy it.
Fantastic. Okay, penultimate question: if you could have dinner with 3 people, who would it be, past or present?
Dinner with 3 people. Okay, Charlie Sheen, when he was an alcoholic. So we already catered for Charlie Sheen, but he was teetotal. Jurgen Klopp, because I love him. He's a fantastic manager, one of the greatest managers at Liverpool Football Club. And you, Biggie, me and you need to sit down and have dinner one day. Long overdue, mate. Long overdue.
Rashpal, I just want to say thank you very much. And did you have time to nominate somebody for me?
I do. I've got quite a few people. I think you need to speak to somebody. Is DJ, the original DJ Harvey, the legend. You need to get him on. He knows the DJing circuit. He was the original gangster up there, so he's definitely one person you need to speak to. Secondly, a friend of mine, Jazz Sembi, he designed bags. He's one of the biggest. He designed the biggest bag in the world, and somebody we both know. He definitely needs to come back on here. He's Tandy Verdi with new young blood. 100%. He definitely needs a catch up. I've done some work with him. We've done a lot of brainstorming when he launched New Young Blood. We did a lot of brainstorming, especially when we did the event at Lloyd's TSB in Central London. I think he needs to be out there again and let everyone know how New Young Blood has moved forward.
100%. Rashpal, thank you very much, my friend. It's been a pleasure, and big love to you, and all the best. Yeah, you take care. Thank you very much. Guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm out of here. Take care.
Cheers. Thank you.